Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. They are. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. Oh, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, stick around, you'll find out what's going on. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Somebody tell them about chanting that's writing here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, not you, Lalita, let somebody else do it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Please charge the battery is low.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Please
Rama,
charge the battery is low.
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Please charge the battery is low.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Please charge the battery is low.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Please charge the battery is low.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Bluetooth connected.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama,
Thanks for
Rama
using.
Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Hare. Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Ah, ah. Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Krishna. Oh my Lord Krishna. Oh Krishna, Hare Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Hari Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama 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 Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hari 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 Rama Rama Hari Hari Krishna 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 Hari 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari, Krishna Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. Oh, my Lord, Gauranga. Oh my Lord Gauranga. Oh my Lord Gauranga. Oh my Lord Gauranga. Oh my Lord Gauranga. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 If anybody gets bored, you can go do something else. Shri Krishna Chaitanya. 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 Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, oh my Lord Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Ah, Krishna, 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 Hare, Hare, Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Radha, 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 Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe, Radha, 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 Krishna, Radha, Krishna, 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 Radha, Krishna, 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 Krishna. Ah, ah, Krishna, 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 Krishna. Oh, my Lord Krishna. Oh, my Lord Krishna. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, 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 Raghunath, 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 Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Oh my Lord Krishna, 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 oh my Lord Krishna. Krishna, oh my Lord Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Oh my Lord Krishna. Oh my Lord Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, 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 Hari Hari. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Whew, Krishna. Oh, Krishna. Oh my goodness, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Radha. Radha. Radha, 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 Rupa. Radha. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Rupa. Prayers glorifying Navadvip by Sri Rupa Goswami. I meditate on Sri Navadvip, which eternally shines with great spiritual bliss. I meditate on Sri Navadvip, which eternally shines with great spiritual bliss, on the very charming shore of the purifying Ganges in Bengal. I meditate on Sri Navadvip, which some say is the spiritual I meditate on which some say is the spiritual sky of Vaikuntha. Some say is the realm of Goloka, and others who know the truth say is Sri Vrindavan. I meditate on Sri Navadvip, where every direction are cooling breezes. I meditate on Navadvip, where in every direction are cooling breezes, and many trees where Lord Gora enjoyed his nude pastimes. I meditate on Sri Navadvip, where the waves of the Ganges playfully splash against the golden shores decorated with golden stairs. I meditate on Sri Navadvip, where there are numberless beautiful golden palaces, all the eternal homes of the goddess of fortune. Uh, uh, whew. Ah, I meditate on Navadvip, Sri Navadvip, where the people are glorified by the great sages, demigods, and siddhas, who are all filled with knowledge, mercy, tolerance, the results of all Vedic yajnas and the six great opulences. Ah, okay. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Ah. Brihad Bhagavatamrita by Sanatan Goswami. So, let's see here. Who wants to read? All right, you're up, Tom. What do you want to read? Your choice today. Yeah, I don't know what. I'm just like out of it. In a good way. Yeah, what do you? More
It
than
says
good.
Bhagavad
Uh,
Gita 13:19. It's
okay,
about
let me see what's going on. If it's me or you, can you guys hear him? Okay.
No, it's difficult to hear you, Tom.
Oh, yeah, you're very low.
Is it better now?
Yeah, much
Hare
better.
Krishna,
Yeah, there you go.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Let me see. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay. I was listening to you, and you were talking about the six opulences. So I was interested in that.
You're still kind of not hearing him
It's
too good,
still,
are you?
yeah,
I wait.
Yes.
I
low,
do.
low.
Yeah.
Okay. I do something. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Is it better like this?
They still don't hear you. Just that you're very low. Go off and come on or something. Sometimes that does it. Yeah. So in the meantime, I'll read something until he comes back. Yeah, this is Brihat Bhagavatamrita. Having recently gone to Vaikuntha and seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is full of all attractive transcendental qualities. Okay, that might be him. Okay, let's see.
Okay. Test sound. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, you're still way. What's going on?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Okay,
Krishna.
restart your whole computer.
Hare Hare.
There you go. Okay, now you
Okay.
got it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So what are
So
we?
I was listening to you, and you were talking about these six opulences, and I was interested. So
Okay.
maybe there's a place I can read about them.
Well, you're asking me. I have to go find it. Just read
Yeah.
something.
I had a text. It was Bhagavad Gita 13:19, I think. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I can search again, but I restarted my thing. So up here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Sorry, I'm so slow today.
That's
Hare
okay.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Bhagavad Gita 13:19. Yes. Hare Krishna. Or Bhagavad Gita 7:1. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. But I don't know where to start. So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yes, I'm asking you, or Lalita. Maybe I need some help. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I need some direction
I
as to
have
what.
19 before my eyes. 13:19 because you said that first.
Okay, 13:19.
Just a guess.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I will do it from Prabhupada books. 13. 19. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nature, the enjoyer and consciousness. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Srila Gauridas. Thank you, devotees. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. This is the beginningless, and it is subordinate to me. It is called Brahman, the spirit, and it lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Lord has explained the field of activities and the knower of the field. He has also explained the process of knowing the knower of the field of activities. Now he is explaining the knowable, both the soul and the supersoul, respectively. By knowledge of the knower, both the soul and the supersoul, one can relish the nectar of life. By knowledge of the knower, both the soul and the supersoul, one can relish the nectar of life. As explained in the second chapter, the living entity is eternal. And this is also confirmed here. There's no specific date at which the Jiva was born, nor can anyone trace out the history of Jivatma's manifestation from the Supreme Lord. Therefore, it is beginningless. The Vedic literature confirms this. Na jayate mijayate va vipashit. The knower of the body is never born and never dies. And he is full of knowledge. The Supreme Lord is also stated in the Vedic literature as Pradhana Kshetrajna Patir Gunesha. The Supreme Lord as the Super Soul is the chief knower of the body. The Supreme Lord as the Super Soul is the chief knower of the body. And he is the master of the three modes of material nature. And he is the master of the three modes of material nature. In the Smriti it is said, I will skip the Sanskrit. The living entities are eternally in the service of the Supreme Lord. The living entities are eternally in the service of the Supreme Lord. Wow. The living entities are eternally in the service of the Supreme Lord. This is also confirmed by Lord Chaitanya in his teaching. Therefore, this description of Brahman mentioned in this verse is in relation to the individual soul. And when the word Brahman is applied to the living entity, it is to be understood that he is the Vijnanam Brahma, as opposed to Ananta Brahma. Ananta Brahma is the supreme Brahman personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Wow.
Tom, can you tell us which verse you read? Because you said 19, but we can't find it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was. I thought I was reading 19, but it's 13. Hare Krishna. I will go to. I will
Chapter
go to.
13, verse 13?
Yes.
Okay.
So I now go to 13:19. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Thus, the field of activities, the body, knowledge, and the knowable have been summarily described by me. Only my devotees can understand this thoroughly, and thus attain to my nature. Purport. The Lord has described in summary the body, knowledge, and the knowable. This knowledge is of three things: the knower, the knowable, and the process of knowing. Combined, these are called Vijnanam, or the science of knowledge. Perfect knowledge can be understood by the unalloyed devotees of the Lord directly. Perfect knowledge can be understood by the unalloyed devotees of the Lord directly. Others are unable to understand. The monists say that at the ultimate stage these three items become one, but the devotees do not accept this. Knowledge and development of knowledge are mean understanding oneself in Krishna consciousness. Knowledge and development of knowledge mean understanding oneself in Krishna consciousness. We are being led by material consciousness. But as soon as we transfer all consciousness to Krishna's activities and realize that Krishna is everything, then we attain real knowledge. In other words, knowledge is nothing but the preliminary stage of understanding devotional service perfectly. Wow. Knowledge is nothing but the preliminary stage of understanding devotional service perfectly. Verse 20. Text 20. Material nature and the living entities should be understood to be beginningless. Material nature and the living entities should be understood to be beginningless. Their transformations and the modes of matter are products of material nature. Their transformations and the modes of matter are products of material nature. Purport. By this knowledge, the body, the field of activities, and the knowers of the body, both the individual soul and the super soul, can be known. The body is the field of activity and is composed of material nature. It is the individual soul which is embodied. It is the individual soul which is embodied. Enjoying the activities of the body is the Purusha, or the living entity. He is one knower, he is one knower. And the other side is the supersoul. Of course, it is to be understood that both the supersoul and the individual entity are different manifestations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The living entity is in the category of his energy, and the supersoul is in the category of his personal expansion. So the living entity is in the category of his energy, and the supersoul is in the category of his personal expansion. Both material nature and the living entity are eternal. Both material nature and the living entity are eternal. That is to say that they existed before the creation. The material manifestation is from the energy of the Supreme Lord. The material manifestation is from the energy of the Supreme Lord, and so also are the living entities. But they are of the superior energy. Both of them existed before this cosmos was manifested. Both of them existed before this cosmos was manifested. Material nature was absorbed in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mahavishnu. Material nature was absorbed in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mahavishnu. And when it was required, it was manifested by the agency of Mahat Tattva. Similarly, the living entities are also in him. Similarly, the living entities are also in him. And because they are conditioned, living entities are also in him. And because they are conditioned, they are adverse to serving the Supreme Lord. Wow. Similarly, the living entities are also in him, and because they are conditioned, they are adverse to serving the Supreme Lord. Thus, they are not allowed to enter into the spiritual sky. Thus, they are not allowed to enter in the spiritual sky. After the winding up of material nature, these living entities are again given a chance to act in the material world and prepare themselves to enter into the spiritual world. That is the mystery of this material creation. Actually, the living entity is originally the spiritual part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Actually, the living entity is originally the spiritual part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. But due to his rebellious nature, he is conditioned within material nature. Actually, the living entity is originally the spiritual part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, but due to his rebellious nature, he is conditioned within material nature. It really does not matter how these living entities or superior entities of the Supreme Lord have come in contact with material nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead knows, however, how and why this actually took place. In the scriptures, the Lord says that those attracted by this material nature are undergoing a hard struggle for existence. In the scriptures, the Lord says that those attracted by this material nature are undergoing a hard struggle for existence. But we should know it with certainty from the descriptions of these few verses that all the transformations and influences of material nature by the three modes are also productions of material nature. That all the transformations and influences of material nature by the three modes are also productions of material nature. All transformations and variety in respect to living entities are due to the body. As far as spirit is concerned, living entities are all the same.
I like that one there. Read that again.
All the transformations and variety in respect to living entities are due to the body. As far as
Yeah,
spirit is concerned,
yeah, yeah. Spirit, go ahead. Go ahead.
as far as spirit is concerned, living entities are all the same.
Yeah, yeah. That's yeah. See, spirit, because everything's all the same. We're all spirit. See, and so that's the Brahman realization. That's when people they realize, oh wow, I'm not this body. See, that is a real realized person at that level. But all see, and this is why see the antithesis of this bodily concept of thinking I'm the material body, I'm the material mind, and material emotions is the spiritual body, and that's and not just Brahman, not just Paramatma. It's where you go all the way to Vrindavan, all the way back home to the Garden of Eden. No fig leaves. Okay? You go all the way back, and then now the transformations come back due to the body, but due to the spiritual body. See? So this is what gets people here. It really freaks them out. They like this one guy says, what is going on here? Is this insane? Well, these transformations are due to the spiritual body. You know, are the devotees here, their spiritual bodies awaken. Isn't that amazing? Even the ISKCONs and even the Gaudiya Samiti, ooh, the purebhakti.com, they're all confused. Well, hey man, all these transformations are due to the spiritual body, they're happening in the spiritual body of a devotee because they're in contact not with the modes of nature, that's the shadow, they're in contact with Krishna's transcendental form. Through his name is the same. That's why he left his name. He left his pastime. He came here. That was, when the Lord was leaving, he was thinking, well, we did a pretty decent job here. As Krishna was thinking, did a pretty decent job here. Killed a few demons, had a little fun in Vrindavan. Had some babies, some children. You know, yeah. And so he was thinking about going, and he says, "Oh, I'm gonna go now, and but I'll leave my pastimes, and my name is here, and so people can take advantage." And they were for a while. And then as time goes on, what happens? The austerity buffs come in, the renunciates, the religion with motivations to be important and to be, and things mix in. And after a while, the pure worship of the Lord is lost, of Krishna's pastimes. And so then again, these Lord Chaitanya came to reestablish the pure worship of Krishna, spontaneous devotional worship. and teach all about the spiritual body, all the way to the deepest pastime. That's why these teachings are fantastic. They're phenomenal, rare. Nobody knows these. You can go to Einstein and say, hey, about this spiritual body. He'll look at you like, no, I'm just a brilliant guy. He's a dum dum. I was just thinking how big a fool I am and how little I know. It's just I just feel like I'm waking up, really, literally, and this is not going to stop because this is just endless waking up. You know, it's just to what is real and all these. It's like it's just. I don't, I can totally relate to Bilbo Mungo Thakur. He says, "Oh, all glories to the personality of Godhead with a peacock feather. He's my instructing spiritual master." Because the Lord starts to show you things, from this is from the rasa dance. I can't believe people are becoming qualified to enter the rasa dance or even understand it. You think Charya Dev understands the rasa dance? They don't understand any of this. You have to have personal experience of your spiritual body awakened and mixing with the body of the Lord. That's the rasa dance. It's not just Krishna, it's the devotee and the Lord mixing together. Just like here in this, because of the material body, you get kind of a rasa dance. You ever mix with the body of your husband or boyfriend or girlfriends, and there's transformation. Sometimes you get fights, and the angry, hate them, they love them, the makeup, and all this is because of the material body, and the material emotions are stimulated. This is the way the world is. Nobody knows this. The people have the books, they still don't know. They don't have any experience. See, that's why you have to experience the spiritual body. See, and the interactions with our awakened spiritual body and our mixing with the Lord's body. Yeah? And then you get revelation and realization experience. You actually get divine experience. How else can we do divine intervention with no divine experience? That's the problem. They can't do any divine intervention in religion because they have no real spiritual experience yet. They're not awake. Go ahead, but
Yeah, Guru Maharaj, you say, yeah, I don't know anything. And I also have this feeling, oh my God, what an ocean is there to know? What an ocean is there waiting for me? Oh, I only know
yeah,
1,000th of a drop, while
yeah,
they are teachers and they think they know it all and they know much less than me, even
yeah,
the
much, yeah. They're not even at the beginning. And anyway, that's what we're dealing with. People that are waiting to be born, don't even know it. But anyway, that's yeah. So yeah, these that's all this what's going on here. Amy Rose, sorry, you are right. Let's see, replying to Amy Rose, he said, verse 13. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, so read on there.
Text 21. Nature is said to be the cause of all material activities and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world.
Now, that's an interesting statement. Yeah. Read that again.
Nature
Well,
is said to be the cause of all material activities and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments in this world.
yeah, it's you see how that is the it's the material nature and the living entity in contact with it. See? So if you remove the cause, then there would be no sufferings. See, because the material nature would just be existing, and it would not. The suffering is caused by the interaction. See, for the living entity comes in contact with the modes of nature, say ignorance, it causes the living entity to act. The modes act through him and force him to act in the world. See, like when you say, like Prabhupada said, don't think I wrote these books. They were dictated by Krishna, right? And then Jesus said, of myself I can do nothing. So it's the same thing, but the opposite. For the devotee, spiritual body is awakened, and so by their happiness, their benedictions, their bliss, their fortune, that's why you become. See, in Navadvip, we read this morning that there's it's inhabited by the goddess of fortune. All goddesses of fortune are there. See, so instead of having misery and a horrible, like birth and death experience, here we have life everlasting. See, so the cause of our bliss and our ecstasy and our happiness and good fortune is contact with nature again, but it's the nature of the transcendental nature. See, the personal potency. So that's why it just gets better. The more we have contact and get exhort all of this stuff out of us that we got from contact with material nature. See, so then we get this more bliss and more good fortune, more just and that's the secret. That's why the Lord, and just devotees, we just by this regular coming here every day, we're becoming more and more fortunate, and more realizing our good fortune and experiencing our good fortune, just and sometimes a little back and forth so you get experience. Sometimes if you go too much with contact with the material nature or even speculation, the material minds of people, so you feel unhappy. The material minds, you get close or you listen to people, you start believing, they start to lose that elevation because you're in the living entity. So you're that, and then the material nature, people's minds. It's like a body, the mind body, and it's full of speculations, and it keeps them on the material level of consciousness. See, we're getting off that because I don't teach. I just take these verses and share my experience. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. That's how it is. See, it's real. It's real. That's why you need a real experience. What is this to become like a guru and not have any real experience of God? That's why nobody understood me. There's so few people in the world that has, even as all the way from followers to gurus, of blind guides, blind leaders, blind gurus, blind spiritual masters. They have no spirit yet, not even awake, and they have their followers, and they all go, "Oh, you're crazy." Crazy just because from the very beginning, 1973, the contact with the spiritual potency, was it. Say, oh yeah, that's the real thing. Changed my life forever. Still changing. It's just always transforming, more, deeper realizing, deeper understanding. Yeah. So the confusion is when the living entity believes in material nature. That's why the world is full of confusions. Everything is inverted here. Even in the mode of goodness, it's still not good enough. That's why St. Paul said, you Pharisees, and that can be applied over here. You Brahmins, you sannyasis, you milk drinking brahmacharis. You see, it's always the same. Isn't it funny? They're all the same family. They're all saying that. Don't fault me for just saying what they say. It's like filthy rags. Hi, hey, Acharya Dave, I'll say it right to your face, man. Your worship, unless it's ecstatic, unless you're in contact with your awakened spiritual body and you're rubbing the body of God, man. You and Krishna are really colluding together and mixing your little juices. Forgot what I was going to say. What was I going to say? I was going to really find a fault.
What again? Acharya Dev, Brahmacharis.
Oh yeah. All of that. It's not clean enough for the Lord. You guys think, oh, well, look at me. I'm an Acharya Dave. I play the piano nice. And I look, all my followers. I must be it. I must have arrived. No, you haven't arrived yet. They need to know that. It goes for all of those gurus, all of them. They haven't arrived yet until you're mixing with the Lord. And blessed are the pure in heart, they shall see God. And you'd be surprised who has actually seen more of God than these big gurus have. Even ordinary people here, the Lord has shown in the world. I put a little statement about what it is, God's nature, and a lot of just ordinary people commented. They said, yeah, I can relate. Yeah, I've had that experience. But these gurus, one of them, they're all covered over. Most of them got those positions just because they wanted them. They desired to be like exalted. They wanted to be like the president or something, and get a lot of, you ever see these guys in the world? They go around and they're like, wow, I'm really important. I go down the street here and the army is protecting two people, and they got all these guns and guards and everything. They're just walking like, wow, we're really important. Taking a stroll down the street. See? These gurus, most of them are like they want this, As I see some of them petting the little children on the side, I wonder where they're coming from. See, they infiltrate, man. Religion, abandon it. We're ready. Are you ready to abandon religion? Gaur Govinda Maharaj prayed to Krishna, get me out of this religion. Tired of associating with these contaminated persons. Really, we prayed to the deity, take me out. I can't stand it anymore. Did my best. And Krishna said, don't worry, that's okay. Prabhupada, yeah, we'll take you out. We'll get Gaur Hari on the job. He likes to clean toilets. He's a toilet cleaner, man. We'll get him. He'll relish it. He'll love it, man. Oh, he'll tell the gurus exactly what's really going on. Things that he wouldn't, say anything much. He knew, and he said a few things. But he's right there in the rat's nest. I'm not in the rat's nest. Nowhere do I want to go. And I'll stay on the outside and shout, hey, anybody want to come over here, man? You want to come over and realize Krishna in this life? You want to, understand things as they are. You want to see who you've been worshiping, really? You want to come out of religion? You want to see why Krishna says in the Gita that you got your nice little Bhakti Shastra degree on there saying you're a smart teacher? You want to understand why he said abandon all varieties of religion? Well, come over here. You'll learn all about it. You'll know why you can't make it there in that group or in any group. That's the beginning. Jesus came to take people out of religion. Literally even said, he says, I have sheep in many different folds. And those religious Pharisees, where a lot of them were coming from. You don't think it's the same thing? Prabhupada came to me. Any of you gurus, any Prabhupada really come to you? Or of course he did. Yeah, because, a lot of liars in this world. Maya's a liar, man. And people will do anything, to get their desires fulfilled, often that are like, strong desire for name and fame. Yeah, let's get together and come up with a story. That's what they did. They got together and came up with a story, and everybody hold to the story. What do you think's going on in the world? The same bullshit. All the what do you call? All the nations, the United Nations, they got together and they said, well, let's stick to the story. That's what's going on. Everybody's getting paid off, bribed. That's why you can be careful who you trust. They paid off, bribed, or they're in fear because their families will be killed. And I'm telling you, man, this is a big operation, psyops here going on. I mean, hey, when Maya works, she does it well, her job. She's very sneaky, very tricky, very deceptive. And this is the time. This is her day. to come out of the closet. See, she's coming out of the closet. This is, been waiting for this for long. This is why the Bible predicted this. The Vedas predicted this. This is Maya's day to come out, and this is the Lord does these things. And every time the Lord comes out, first Maya comes out. Isn't that interesting? See, it's part of the thing. Just like here, if you're going to get Krishna, Maya's got to start coming out, right? She starts to come out of you. See, well, she's coming out of the world this way. See, she's coming out of the closet. People's going to see more who they're worshipped, or they won't get it. They'll just be, like, because they believe the demons that are after them and getting rid of them, they'll be gone. But a lot of people will become aware, like, wow, this stuff that's going on in the world is actually divine. Can you imagine? That's self-realization. You see not only the spiritual pose, you see the material pose. It's the Lord's energy. That's why the devotees have no hatred. How can I hate God? How can I hate God's work? See, that's self-realization. People do because they're an illusion. They want to fight against, see? Well, you want to fight against nature. You're fighting yourself. You're fighting the self, actually. It's just everybody's like a machine, and they're caught up in the material nature. And the mode of ignorance is fighting the mode of passion. And the mode of passion is fighting the mode of goodness. And goodness is fighting passion and ignorance. This is a competition. Let the games begin. It's all it is. People take it personally. It's very impersonal, actually. Everybody's forced to act. Bill Gates can't help himself. He's going to do what he's going to do. All of them, Fauci's, Trump, Biden, all the politicians, everybody is forced to act because of the modes. It's very personal, actually. It looks personal, but it's just a machine going on here. Machine work. Okay? The only time you get real life is in the spiritual potency connection. Okay? So that's why I tell people here, because now it's getting, there all kinds of things are going. Nobody knows exactly what is real and what isn't, and some things are, and they're just all mixed in. It's kind of a madhouse kind of thing. A lot of things are computer generated images. There's bots on the thing. You don't even know if you're talking to people on the internet. A lot of times you're just interacting with bots. I'm telling you, it's very. Maya is a strange cookie right now, and getting stranger and making everybody very strange. Is more and more crazy, actually. So that's coming out. But what else is coming out is this. See, the Lord comes out at these times. Isn't it funny? You look at the Bhagavatam. It's always when the Lord comes, always like something like this. Isn't that amazing? So Lord Chaitanya's more full work is actually just forthcoming. You think that was just the beginning. What we're doing here is at a time when there's more of the like the climax type thing. Yeah, so this is going to be very interesting. You get a sense of that, anybody out there? This is a very unique time. Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I feel this question listening to you. Like we are conditioned to be tolerant. Yeah, we are conditioned to be tolerant, but it's a kind of blind tolerance. Like becoming numb, becoming.
Oh yeah. That's Maya makes you. That's another. You become unconscious.
Yes, it's
Maya,
it's
when it's
we
like being
become
bit
very
by.
tolerant. We are taught to be tolerant. Yeah, just let it go with the flow. Yeah, go with the
Yeah.
material things. Just live in this thing. Yes, but
Yeah.
it's unconscious. It's like blind.
Yeah. Well, people are caught up. They're just caught in, and they can't. It's like you're in prison. You have to be broken out. That's why the savior idea conception is there. You have to be broken out by a person that's liberated. See? So, like Amy says here, the living entity is the cause of the various sufferings and enjoyments of the world. Well, in a sense, you know what it is? It's the rasa dance that's the cause. See, it's the rasa dance of the living entity mixing with the material modes. See, that it's actually, there's like they're causing each other. Well, see, the living entity by interacting, it's still, but you have to interact, and it causes this dance in the world. People are doing all these different dances and different things because of their like nature inside and their contact with the material modes. It perverts everything, because see, we have that inner nature, which is we all want friends, we all want to worship, right? So you worship rock stars instead of God, you know. You all want friends, so you go and get some bodily friends who are in Maya too. So you know, you have some friends, some companionship and illusion. That's why you see, when you come out of this, you start coming out of your friends and your family even think you're nuts. They think, like Lalita said, they think I'm crazy. They think she's something, needs to see a doctor or something. Yeah, you see,
Personality disorder.
personality disorder, because her personality is not like ours, you know, just totally nutso. Yeah, you're mixing with the spiritual potency, and so they think this is strange because nobody's doing it. They're not doing it. Their friends don't do it. Only Lalita, you know, is doing it because of her associated with some crazy guy. You know,
My
but
daughter
this is
is a doctor. She's a doctor, and she's really very concerned.
very concerned. Tell her I'll talk to. Tell her I'm also a doctor. I'll put on a white coat and a stethoscope, and we'll compare notes. Tell her, you know, I go to a doctor too. You know, I'll introduce you to this doctor. He's a doctor. He's a real he's there's a pole there. You see, he doesn't even need that emblem on the wall. He's that pole, and there's two snakes going up there, and one is eating the other one. And watch out, you come over there, this little snake will devour you too, and all your Maya. The snake of Vrindavan. Yeah. Yeah, see, so you know, this is it's so there in the material world, it's a rasa dance too, because of the mixture of nature, the modes of nature, three modes, you know, mixing, passion, ignorance, goodness, mixing with the living entity and causing all these activities, and you know, people building, you know, they if you got heavy predominant passion, you'll be out building skyscrapers or something. See, a lot of people, building all day long. They're out bang, bang, bang. You know, they love it, man. Or maybe they don't love it, but they're addicted to it. They have to do it anyway. You know, the little mouse, they got to feed their little mouths to their children or their dogs. Sometimes one guy had a dog look like a horse yesterday. Oh my God. And when it barked, oh. Yeah, so anyway, that's the kind of thing where this is what we're all about, mixing with the spiritual potency, looking as crazy as can be. And that's what Lord Chaitanya did. He mixed with the spiritual potency with his devotees. They're all there doing in rasa dance, you know, with the spiritual potency of the Lord, which causes transformations, see? And activity and beauty, and you know, very, you know, the thing is, if you stay long enough and you observe devotees, you see, wow, they're more happy than anybody. You know, I mean, like when you get through all the bullshit, you know, you can't like count, you know, people going back and forth because they're going getting purified. But when they're out the other end, you know, more or less, you'll see they're very happy and ecstatic and blissful and lucky. And you feel lucky to be around them. See why? Just because it's so simple. God doggone it, the truth is so friggin' simple, man. Just come and chant Hare Krishna with ecstatic devotees, who have this good fortune. The goddesses of fortune here. There are many already being made here. All good fortune will just come in your life, even in a bad time. Look at Prahlad. He was preaching away, and he wasn't sweating anything. They tried to poison him and all that. A lot of that stuff is, you got to see, it's not always literal. These things are metaphorical too. So they try to poison, because the world is always trying to poison everybody. Okay, poison philosophy, speculation, lies, cheating. See, that's poison. Okay, that poisons your mind. It gets contaminated. You become like dacoits, or you become a robber, or you become maybe a Brahmin, but still there's poison in you. See? So Prahlad wasn't poisoned by any. That's why he could preach pure devotional service. He chanted the holy name in ecstasy, like you see devotees here. We're the same family. He would sometimes laugh and cry and all that. That's why he could preach real devotional service in the midst of this hell that was going on. Literally, hell was coming up. This Hiranyakashipu was a big demon. Took over not just the world, the whole universe. All the demigods, they didn't get any share of their sacrifices. He took them all. He was such a dog, man. Just took them all. That's what demons do. They want to take everything. They don't want to give you, they don't even want to give you a share of your work, man. They want to take everything. That's what they're doing now. They want to take everything. They can't. It's like, what is this? It's all for us elites. They're psychopaths, literally. There's no compassion. It's a demon. They're just their nature. Yeah. So the only and that people are trying to oversee, the Lord has empowered that passion. If you look in Bhagavatam, teaches this. It teaches sometimes the Lord empowers the passion, gives it energy, and then it starts to take over. See, it's under the direction of the Lord. And sometimes the demigods get stronger, and then they beat the demons. And this back and forth ping pong game. And what is it all for? Well, the Lord knows what it's for. He said, get your hands off that. Put your hands on me. The transcendental me. Grab over here, grab to my devotees, the saviors who come here, the bona fide spiritual master is supposed to be the savior. I mean, that's high. We have high standard here, my friends. If you're not like a Jesus Christ, go out and somewhere else and let people come into the kingdom, man. You got to be like Jesus. His disciples, if they were real disciples, they were like Jesus. They had the same Spirit of God in here. Don't you see? My disciples are like me. And even better, ye shall do greater things than me. This is the way it works when you're saved and you have the power to save others. And if you can't stand up, man, it's time to sit down on a lower seat. Okay? Because the truth is here. Can you see it? Truth is here. The spiritual potency here. Who? If you don't have experience of the Spirit, how can you even express such things? How can you even know such things? You only know half of everything, and it's the wrong half, the bad half. Could you imagine you have a relationship with a woman or man, and you're always with their bad half? They all have bad halves, right? Could you imagine that's your day in and day out? That's Maya. That's most people's day in and day out is with the bad half of God, his shadow, that he doesn't even care to look at. And people are just totally absorbed in it. Who's going to get these people? You got to have somebody has some spiritual experience, not just with Brahman, oh, you're light, you're the light, you're God, something. No. We're servants of the Lord, the transcendental Lord, beautiful being, man. Get empowered by that energy. This rasa dance. This is available. See, what's in our song is the rasa dance is available. Why? Well, because the Lord has given it. How do you know? Well, we enter it. Can't you see? Can't you see? This is a rasa. Well, I don't know. We never seen this before. Our gurus are never in anything that we've seen. Narayam Raj, I don't know. He's always, we don't know if he's, well, we're doing that too here and more. How come you can't recognize it here if you're so exalted, you Gaudiya Samiti devotees? If you've got the purebhakti.com and you're the success, they think that he's the successor of Prabhupada. I'm sorry, man, not clean enough. Better come over here. Well, we won't just have to say whether we're a successor or not. We may be and maybe not, but you come here, we'll show you everything. You don't need to have me, because you heard a lot of bluffs. You've heard people, so many gurus say they're the ones, right? So I don't need to, say and not say that. Just come here and open your eyes. We'll give you a little help. Open your ears, open your heart, open your eyes. You'll experience the good fortune here. Okay? We'll show you how this really works. Okay? It's the real deal, and all of that. That's why I was telling Karuna, he said, I still have doubt, why don't you, don't worry, just don't, it's a process. It's all right here, right before your eyes. And in due course, you get purified. You just see it. Then, okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah, this is what it's all about. Ecstatic worship of the Lord. Being in touch with the transcendental body of the Lord, man. Relish that. Be happy about it. Yeah, and you will. Oh. This will be a game changer, man. A life changer. Communing with the transcendental Lord. Now you've had a tight pair of shoes on in Maya for so many millions of life. Now when you start to get them off, and you get just the perfect fit, and you're that Cinderella that you read about in the story. See? And you get that perfect shoe that fits. That's the Lord. Oh, very comfortable. Just you feel really happy walking down the street. You've got God, man. He's in you now. I was chanting this morning and I was realizing that more. I said, I thought I realized this, but boy, I really realized it. And I know I'll say that tomorrow. Yeah, man, this is really getting clear. And then more clear. Yeah.
Oh, I was dreaming this a while ago, that you put it on my feet, these shoes, and they were perfectly fitted. I
Anybody ready in ISKCON or all these other groups ready to be Cinderella and get the shoe that fits? And the ones will come. There's people, they're looking for Krishna and they finally get fed up, like, okay, and the Lord will show you. He'll make them all run away or get injected and have heart attacks and all that stuff, blood clots, and clot them up and clot a few of their disciples, and they'll go, well, you listen to me, what do you mean? Don't you? I didn't ask you to listen. You believed in me. That's what Maya does. She's like that. She's like a clown. Well, this is my name. I'm just here to fool everybody. I didn't ask you to listen. You just came to me. So I'm saying, hey, come over here if you want to get out of that crapola. I'll introduce you to my Lord. And then I won't have to tell you, tie your shoe this way. Wipe your butt with your left hand. Wash your hands after your meals. Well, let it be up to you what you want to do. You discuss it with God every day.
Um,
And I'm just going to watch the dance you do. I like it better. There's less responsibility for me. And if you still want people to teach you how to wipe your butt, there you go. ISKCON and all of them, all the way up to the Radhakun Babajis. They'll tell you how to clean your butt and all that stuff. No, really. I mean, honestly, when I went there, the first teaching, they said, we're going to teach you how to clean yourself. Because you were doing it wrong in ISKCON. They didn't do it quite right. And you can't. You were eating that in ISKCON? No. You can't eat that here. Oh, you were performing Ekadasi on that day? On that day where if you don't do it, you kill your guru. No. It's not on that day that you kill your guru by not doing it. It's on this day that you kill your guru if you don't eat. See, God is keeping track in the different sanghas. He said, they were with ISKCON. Okay, that thing is for that day over there because they observe it a different day. And then Ekadasi is another day. So everything comes in effects. He's like AI or something, keeps track of different sanghas. There's no universal thing because there is no universe. It's a fear tactic.
yeah. Can I say something?
Yeah.
It feels, for someone who is used to this way of living, it still feels attractive to have these instructions and
Yeah.
um this structure. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's there's a pullback towards that kind of taste, that kind of being in that comfort zone and being relaxed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And
it's still it's a trap, but it still
yeah.
has some
Yeah,
attraction.
yeah, and they have to do it because see that's worship in fear of going to hell if you don't do it. A lot of these things, even Bhaktivinoda said that some of the stuff in that fifth canto of the Bhagavatam is exaggerated, just to get people to worship God in fear, because otherwise they will not. A lot of people they be atheists. They don't want to follow any rules, you know and to clean themselves up from the mode of passion and ignorance to goodness. So it takes some discipline. So people are trying to help. And whatever Prabhupada was trying to help, he knew you'd have to go deeper at some point. He did what he could do. Even his godbrother said, God, look at your disciples. A lot of them they're not Vaishnavas at all. They're materialists. They're thinking like money, and they're thinking get go. So we can be guru. He said, this is not. Godbrother told me, Obi-Al Kapoor, and then Prabhupada said, hey, I did what I can. Krishna inspired me to do this, and somebody will come along. See, and or others, others will come along to help out. I mean, that's what the Lord is. This is His thing. We're in Him, right? We're in Him. So what He wants to do, this phase of the game plan, is get Him we're in Him. Get Him, the spiritual potency inside awakens, so that He's in us, and we get His protection, His benedictions, His happiness, and the whole ball of wax. That's the game plan. That's God's game. That's our game. That's what we're playing. Get the girl. We got to get the girl. You get the girl. Get Radha awakened in the heart. It's all about, isn't it always been about get the girl? No, you notice everything going very homosexual and lesbian lately on the movies? See, it's all, even the girls are trying to get the girl. What's that about? See? The other side of that is we all need, whether you're a man or woman, we all need Radharani, man. So Lalita's a bit of a lesbian in that way. She's a transcendental lesbian because she likes Radha. I'm sorry, man. I see her intimate dealings with Radha every day, man. I'm sorry. She's leso. She's a Les, man. Did you know that, River? You've been praising a Les. You too. You're a bit of a Les also. You like women. Transcendental lesbians we create here. Or forget about Krishna. He just comes along with it, man. I guess it's more bisexuals. We're creating transcendental bisexuals here. You like both Radha and Krishna. You'll do it with either of them. Amy says, this Rasa dance wakes me up and makes me alive. Yeah. Maya makes me sleepy. It does, doesn't it? Yeah, the world has gone crazy. Yeah. You become neutral, more neutral. And then, that's why I say what I want, if I say what I want for preaching purposes, just otherwise you just kind of, why just look at it? You become, what do you think it means? You think it's all just a bunch of friggin' words? When at chapter 1 says the external manifestation of the super soul is the spiritual master, if you really got a real one, do you think that's just a what do you call it? Just a bunch of words in there, or is it real? Yeah, it's very real. So if you're not, that's the real spiritual master. If you got one of those, they're external. See, and the difference is the super souls just observing everything, but they're interactive. That's why they cause trouble in the world, because the Lord's looking at all this inside and he's saying, oh my God, all this living entities, who's going to help them? He has to come as this. See, I'm telling you, the verse says the Lord comes as the spiritual. I got to help them. I got to come as the spiritual master. He came as Lord Chaitanya, the spiritual master of the universe. He came as Advaita Acharya, the spiritual masters of the universe, and all of them. As Srivas, a devotee, the spirit, came as the spiritual master of the universe. The one devotee, the whole universe worships them, and indirectly too. When a guru gets spit on, and or anybody getting the mercy of a real guru, you get spit on, or they hate you, and all that stuff. Oh, that's proof of that you're part of the family, your family member. They did that with Krishna. Shishupal, you should have went to that. Oh, if you were at that thing, that ball they had, they were having a ball. They were doing a sacrifice, and it was a great drama. The Pandavas, brothers, some of the Pandavas, they got up and they said, well, Krishna should have the first offering. And oh man, there was all divided the whole assembly. Talk about division in the world. Oh, that also happened in the past times. Man, divided them up. They're all on one side. Krishna, that he's blah 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 blah. Oh, all kinds of stuff was coming. See, that's what happens when the spiritual potency is here. That's why I recognized Jesus immediately. As soon as I saw the name, I said, oh, wow, somebody who knows what God is actually here. 1 out of millions. No wonder they're still praising Jesus. Okay? But look, Paul, Peter, all these people, if they, look at all they just, you can read their words because the same spirit is inside them. See, this is a disciplic line, a family affair. The Lord progressively works as long as the line is intact. You see how it's progressive? We're all progressing as long as the line stays intact. That's why the Lord keeps it clean and throws out those persons, who have not the right mentality, nor do they want it corrected. See? So that's what the teaching is like for Meena. She's always had this teacher thing. And that's always bit her in the butt, and it's always got her out of the Sangha. But there's that other side that wants this. So eventually she'll get through it because, once Krishna gets a little hold of you, he'll take you all the way through. And people need to kind of work things out. They got to do little teachy things, and stuff like that. Yeah, we got teachers here. We make real teachers here. If she knew she could be a real teacher of really like high class persons coming that want to get into the kingdom of God. What isn't that the best teaching? Is to teach people where you take them by the hand and bring them right into Vrindavan, and not have to bring them through the Vaidhi thing, and then and then they it's just so like that. We need teachers here. This is better. You be a real teacher by example. You become the verses. She's sitting there reading. And I say that goes for all of these persons that have left and they're kind of in this teacher thing. They go and read the verses every day, but they're not the verses now. Lalita's more the verse. When she reads a verse, or Johan or a River or any of them, you're becoming the verses personified. That's devotee Bhagavat. You got to become a devotee Bhagavat. Jesus said, what I have done, all men must do. You must do it. I have done this, and you've got to do this also. Otherwise, how can you be an experienced teacher? That's why you go through the purification. That's the way it works. Then people, that's guru. That's the real guru. This is the standard in the book Bhagavat. So you got to find one as a devotee, living devotee. When Lord Chaitanya's time, he sent living devotees to people that had real living devotion. See, the devotion was living inside them. Otherwise, you're not awake. You're not aware. You're in the body of the Lord, but he's not in you. He's got to be in you and mature a little bit. See, that's why people, they look mad. They're so extraordinarily happy having God inside and founding their real home. Home is where the heart is. Truly, that word comes from Krishna, man. Home is where God is awakened there. And that's your heart. The heart and soul, the life and soul of a devotee is the Lord himself. Literally, that's the intimacy. It's a very intimate understanding and relationship. That's why, not everybody's attracted. They come here, oh, well, I like them more. Okay, fine. Whoever, we're just here. The Lord knows who's ready for this or just eager for this, been waiting for this, and they'll come. They always do. My son recently said to me, I don't know an English word for this. What is the word she's saying there?
I'm going to do it now with you.
Yamuna translated it.
It says a perception disorder, Maharaj.
Oh, perception disorder. Yeah. You see, it's just natural. So you just got to go through it. See, and that's why the Lord has given us association here. See, it does help a lot. Can you imagine you're alone? You have to, you see, I had strong bhakti, and look what I had to go through. I had to do this alone. Even Lord Chaitanya at least had Srivas, come and reflect. But I had the books. See, that was my Srivas. These books are all the realizations of the highest devotees. And so what I did for a while, I compared my experience with the book's experience, and because they're all saying that's why they don't know this. They're all saying, no, I got Narayan Raj. No, this is it. So I doubted myself, and I said, okay, well, let me go. And I spent a year and a half looking, and I said, no, that ain't it. It's dry, man. Yeah. I wanted to invite, when I was with the group, was in a place, I wanted to invite Narayan Raj's highest disciple to preach. I think I did. And then when he's preaching, it was like such a downer. It's like, no life in the guy. Just all mental concepts, all conceptions that unrealized. The highest, most closest, intimate devotee of his. He was his personal secretary. It was like dry, man. Yes, all of them are like this because they don't have the real thing yet. They think they do. They thought he was it. But, this is how it is, man. There's many creepers that imitate this bhakti creeper. You know, and see, Prabhupada had it. Jesus had it. It's special, very special. Bhakti Siddhanta and all of them. And when I went to Radha Kund, I'm not saying all Babajis are bad or anything, but the ones I met mainly, they didn't believe in these exalted persons. So I knew. I said, oh, I started to see. They don't believe in those who have real bhakti. And that's how it is. Even the brother, I'll tell you something that's not been exposed fully. Even the brother of Bhakti Siddhanta, and I firsthand, I know a Sahaja in my, I see, the Lord has showed me so many things. I know a Sahaja personally. Classic Sahaja. You want to talk classic. And he left Prabhupada because he said Prabhupada was proud. You know, and this guy was always glorifying the titties and all. I was just like, oh man, he dressed, yeah. He dresses up Gadadhar with the breasts and all this stuff. Anyway, it was a good teaching. But he said, my guru, his new guru was the brother of Bhakti Siddhanta. And this is, nobody's ever even talked, Prabhupada wouldn't even talk about it, but I'm exposing everything. He said his guru told him personally, it was right there. He said his guru said that Bhakti Siddhanta was a big demon, came to destroy Lord Chaitanya's movement. His guru. Now, let me tell you something interesting. Lalita Prasad was a Babaji. He took that path, and he was initiated by Bhakti Vinod. But doesn't always mean because, you know, everybody thinks. So he said that, and well, there was a point there. Oh yeah, he was chanting 3 lakhs a day. 3 lakhs a day. So what I realized, that's where you don't, either you come in the line and get Krishna easily, like the books really say, right? Don't we read that? I'm going to point this out more and more and more. Every time we come, oh, please give me the gift of pure devotional service. Oh, Lord, just by hearing these things, we hear from a real devotee submissively. The thing is, and otherwise, you don't get it. And you'll chant 3 lakhs and still you'll be unclear. And he was he was just like a lot of devotees. They're good people, you know, Narayan Raj group, a lot of good persons, but it's not good enough. You can have some little demon quality in you being against devotion. Yeah, Leela Prasad was honest and all that. He was like Jarasandha. Jarasandha was honest, never lied and all that, but he hated Krishna. They hate the devotional potency. They got to get that hatred out of them in the only way in some lifetime. See, sometimes it takes many lifetimes. Sometimes it's easy, and Amy can get it, like here. See, but these big ones that chant 3 lakhs and everything, they might have something, and they're completely off, and they have their followers, like this Sahaja guy. And you know, and he's writing books and he's translating. He does. See, they can write books, and you think, oh well, he must be a pure devotee, and he laughs and he does all this. You should see. I watched him. He made sure I was watching him too. You know, when he's going through his little thing. You know, then he sends me to another Sahaja person. Wanted to tell me who, right off the bat, he wanted to tell me who I was in my spiritual body.
Those books,
a lot of guards. What?
Those books are full of speculation that he writes.
Oh yeah, this is
full of fantasy.
Oh yeah, fantasies. No, yeah, it's just, and then he has one of his godbrothers who was also initiated by the Lalita Prasad, and the same thing. The guy was like, he was totally saying no, it's sex. It was is this relationship with Radha and all that stuff, you know. And see, they go crazy. It basically, that's where you really. Anyway, this, you got to come in the door, man. You know, there's the doorman, literally doorman. You got to come through the doorman or doorwoman, whoever's a resident of Vrindavan. They're the only ones who get you in. Otherwise, the snakes and all the obstacles and crocodiles and all that will just, flaming swords will all just cut you down. This is real. This is more. This is extraordinary mercy of Lord Chaitanya on all of us. Unbelievable, man. There's nothing like this. You show me. I mean, God, wake up, man. Everybody, wake up. It's time. This is real. People are so asleep still. A lot of them.
I have a question.
What?
Yeah, I what I experience a lot is that people, they want to give me instructions. I don't need to say anything, but maybe I'm radiating this helplessness or something.
Mhm.
But people, they come to me and they give me, you should try out this and do it like this. So there's an overload of instructions, um, and that's too much for me. That's too much. So I have to distinguish what instructions I can follow and what instructions are not meant for me.
Yeah. Yeah, if they just come and try to give you instructions, just don't follow anything they say. Yeah, why are they pushing things on you? You don't need to do it. There's some energy that's forcing them to do it. Unless you're playing that little helpless. I don't know if you're doing that anymore. You used to kind of do that. I can't do. I don't know what to do. If you're playing that game, then
Yeah, then it's logical that I attract this, but
Yeah.
I have to learn how to follow the
Be
conclusive
a
way.
man. Be a
They
man.
don't give that to me. I'm not open for instructions. Only
Tell them keep your mouth shut. He's got to get a little. What do you call it? They call it assertive. I'm sorry, I don't need to do that, man. I didn't ask for you. Instruct yourself. I don't care.
everybody likes to be the teacher. So many people like to teach, especially what they need to learn themselves.
Yeah. See, Amy gave you some instructions, good ones. Listen to her. Well, you got to listen to your heart, Tom. You know what to do. Now that's a good instruction. See, pointing you back here. Yeah. So there's the sahaja. Okay, the sahaja. See, was it sahaja know that he is a? Does sahaja know that he is a sahaja? Of course not. They all think they have the real thing. They all think, a lot of them think they're real gurus. Even Prabhupada, people think sahaja means X's. No. Sahaja, to find one way to define a sahaja is somebody who it means you take a position that you're not qualified for. Okay. So if you act as a spiritual master and you're guru and you're taking disciples and alluding that you're going to deliver them, that's sahaja. The Prabhupada said, my guru's temples are manned by sahajas. That they have they took over his guru's temples and said, we're the acharya now, but they didn't have what the real qualification. You have to have the Lord awaken your heart, like Bhaktisiddhanta did. So they weren't really there. He called that sahaja. You're sitting on a platform that you're not qualified to wield. To be an acharya means a delivery of disciples. Right? So people, they're totally off. You're totally off if you say Gohari, you're a sahaja, because we'll look at the fruit, look at the results. People are getting ecstatic devotion. So where's the sahaja in this? They're getting the fruit. They're fructifying love of God. Just like the book said, yes, it's correct. Those who awaken devotion to Krishna are certainly spiritual master. So what's the problem? You know, the problem is your own misunderstanding and speculations and being a false follower. You see why you have to come from the false follower pile to a real follower this way, through this door, through this purification. Okay? Because that's not as it is. Remember, there are two followers. One were the real followers, and the others were the false. The false followers had a different opinion than the real followers of the Acharya. Okay? I don't follow the Vaidhi level of the Acharya. I follow the heart of Prabhupada. That's why he said, okay, has my approval, you go with this now. You teach this. This is your time. You know, for this. I did my thing. I got everything ready, and now you do this. Okay? Finish it. You're all finished, right? You're done. You're not going back to the material world. Well, maybe some might still for a while, but still, you know, you've been bitten by the black snake of Vrindavan, man. It gives you a little taste. Why, you know, so you may have some problems here and there, but still you're on the road, man. You know what the road is? We make it more clear every day. The road is mixing with Krishna. Sadhu Sangha, we mix with Krishna. Yeah. Okay, what else we got here? I have that problem too, Tom. I often wonder what it is, and people think I need their advice and instruction. It's probably conditioning you guys got from the past. You know, you kind of emanate that. No, I'm just a helpless creature. Women, a lot of women do that too. I don't know what to do. Maybe, see, men, women,
it's
you know,
also
they both do it.
I feel it also has to do with
What?
being in the mode of people pleasing, to focus on
Oh, yeah.
people, yeah, and not pleasing my own heart and Krishna in my own heart.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll be a lot happier when you give that one up. Just please, yeah. It's all about pleasing God. You know, pleasing God in your own heart, and He'll show you that if what's pleasing or not. Especially, He doesn't like to be controlled and manipulated. Not when you're. That's only for those who are in prison. You know, they're conditioned to do that. See, but you know, when you get more purified in the heart, you see that Krishna wants to express, wants to be free. Matter of fact, you feel free because He's free. He's free, you know. See, in Kali Yuga, this is one of the greatest ones. He's usually holding back. If he comes here, holding back is to come here as Kapila Dev. Holding back is to come here as Lord Ram. He's held back, man. Holding back is to come here as Krishna. Yes, that was holding back some. He didn't. Yeah. Not holding back was coming as Lord Chaitanya and showing the whole world. No, that's Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. Hey, that's our mood, man. I got the order, man. I'm here to carry it out. I like that order, man. I never like repressions. Nobody likes. Do you like to be repressed there, River? No, we want to express ourselves.
No, I don't. No, I don't like to be repressed, Maharaj, but I have been repressed quite a lot and repressing myself quite a lot. However, because of my life and because of how it's been and not understanding things and keeping yourself in this prison,
Yeah.
actually gentle force and not force, you know, because what's force for others isn't force for some people.
Yeah.
It's natural. That gentle force and understanding it first in the mind, but understanding and really listening and wanting it and really kind of knowing it's right, knowing that's the way to go. For me, that's been the thing. I will take people's advice. I always take Lalita's advice, and it always helps me. You always have, all the time. It depends who's given the advice, who knows you really well, the depth of who you are, as well. And it helps
That's
to
a
grow
good
up.
point.
Helps
Yeah,
to grow
yeah,
up.
it's a good point. Yeah. So yeah, you need some of that, and yeah, why not? Even the devotees were being instructed that, they had liberated souls, and they would take their advice. It would be helpful because when you're in the modes and it's a little unclear, and it's nice to have somebody from the outside to kind of help clear things up a bit. Yeah. Let's see, mistake, humility, helping. Okay, replying, Tuka, nobody can instruct Tuka. Let's see here. Oops. So being assertive is pure coming from Krishna. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think I'm going to go off for a while. I'm going to take walks earlier in the morning too, a little bit, because I get going a little bit late. Maybe I'll go for a little walk. Yeah. And then come back early. Yeah. Yeah. So this was fun. Yes. Thank you, Ivo and Amy, Shama Sundari, and Johan, and Bhakta Tom, and Lilita, and River. There are again quite a few people here, huh? Tuka. We had some early guys. All right, man. Have a great day, huh? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.